Hello students, welcome to YouTube channel Vidya for Success.
Dear students, in this video, let us study a new concept, parameterized constructor. Already, we know what is a constructor. Constructor is a special member function using which objects of a class can be initialized. There are three different types of constructor as you know. The first one is default constructor, second parameterized constructor, and the third one is copy constructor. So now let us understand what is parameterized constructor. So what is a parameterized constructor? In default constructor, we will not be using any arguments. So the special member function, that is a constructor, will not be having any arguments. That's why it is referred as default constructor, also called as zero argument constructor. But situation demands that at the time of initialization, we have to pass certain values, we have to pass certain arguments. So those constructors which work with arguments, they are referred as parameterized constructors. So a constructor which works with arguments are called as parameterized constructor. Next, a default constructor function initializes the data member with no arguments. So what's the problem with default constructor? These default constructor, they won't consider any arguments. So without considering any argument, sometimes you'll not be able to initialize certain data members. So that's a major drawback. And also another drawback is in case for a class, if multiple objects are created, all the objects are initialized with the same set of default values. But if you want to initialize multiple objects with different set of values, then we have to use parameterized constructor. Now let us understand the syntax of parameterized constructor. The syntax starts with the class name followed by the object which is created for the class, and it will be followed by arguments within the parenthesis. Later it will be terminated by semicolon. Okay, so for a particular class we will be creating an object. So class name, object name, within parenthesis we can have any number of arguments. If there are more than one arguments, and all these arguments need to be separated by comma, and later it will be terminated by semicolon. Let us take up an example. Let us please notice here, there is a class by the name student. For the student class we have created an object s1. So s1 is an object of type student. Next, within the parenthesis, here we are trying to initialize the data member of the object student. What are the different data members? Let us say there is a data member by the name register number. So register number will be initialized with the value 125. Similarly, name of the student will be initialized with the value Arun. Next, class will be initialized with second PUC, and later percentage will be initialized with the value 98. So this is what the syntax of parameterized constructor looks like. Okay, so class name, for the class we will be having an object. For the object we will be passing certain arguments. This is the syntax. Now let us look into the features of parameterized constructor. The first feature, the parameterized constructors can be overloaded. What does it mean by? It means in a program we can have only one default constructor, but that constraint is not there with parameterized constructor. We can have any number of parameterized constructor. So when you are having multiple parameterized constructor, all the constructors will be carrying the same name. So how are you going to differentiate them? That's a problem for the compiler. So the differentiation can be done with the help of either number of arguments or their change in their data type. Okay, or else you can also consider their precedence, how they up first, whether it is an integer or character or float, whichever appears first. So on these parameters we can characterize them, and we can identify which particular parameters constructor is called. That's why in a program we can have any number of parameters constructor. If more than one parameter constructor are there, then particular concept is referred as overloading. Okay, next, any number of parameters constructor can be included in a program. This is another feature of parameters constructor. There is no restriction. And the third one is, in case if they are having more than one parameter constructor, then the number of arguments and their type when an object is created should match with the formal parameters. So if there is no match, there may be only one parameter is constructed in our program, but at the time of declaring the parameter constructor and at the time of invoking the parameter constructor, if there is a mismatch with respect to either number of arguments or their type, then it won't work. There will be an error. So these are the features of parameterized constructor. Next, how are you going to invoke a constructor? So constructor, any constructor for that matter, whether it can be default, parameterized or copy constructor, they can be invoked in three different ways. The first one is explicit call, second is implicit call, and the third one is initialization at the time of declaration with assignment operator. Okay, so single equals is called as assignment operator. So by these three methods we can call a constructor. So in the program within the class we will be having constructor. So what is the theory actually till now? So far we know as soon as an object is created, constructor will be automatically called. Yes, that is sure. Automatically will be constructor will be automatically called, but even constructor can be invoked in three different ways, either explicitly or implicitly or initialization at the time of declaration with assignment operator. So we'll study each one of them in detail. Explicit call. So here we will be calling the constructor explicitly. Okay, directly we will be invoking it. So that's why it is called as explicit call. So how does it operate? How does the invoking or the explicit call look? So here in explicit call, declaration of object is followed by assignment operator, constructor name and argument list enclosed in parentheses. Let me explain with an example. So here max is the class name. For the class max, let us say we want to find maximum of two numbers, largest of two numbers. That's why we consider a class by the name max. For the class max, n is an object. So after creating the object, what we are following here, earlier after creating the object we were terminating it with semicolon, but now what we are doing here, as soon as object is created, it will be followed by assignment operator, and again we are taking the constructor name. So what is the constructor name? Constructor name is same as a class name, and it will be followed by argument list within parentheses. If you come across such a statement within a program, then and this is referred as explicit call. Nothing but we are invoking, we are forcefully calling a constructor. What type of constructor? Parameterized. We can say here we are passing some arguments. No, that's why we can say it as it's a parameterized constructor. You can clearly say it is a parameter constructor. But how you are invoking it, how you are calling it, how you are making use of it, you are calling it explicitly. You are directly calling it. Okay. So in explicit call, declaration of object will be followed by assignment operator, then followed by assignment operator will be followed by the constructor name. Next, within the parentheses there will be argument list. So this is an explicit call. Let us understand explicit call using a program. Here we are trying to find largest of two numbers. Okay, so using a parameterized constructor, but here explicitly we are calling the constructor. So the class name is max. Within the private access specifier we are declaring only one data member big. Next, within the public member access specifier we are first declaring a constructor. So what is a constructor? Constructor name will be same as the class name. And what type of constructor it is? Whether it's a default constructor? No, it is a parameterized constructor. How can you say that? Because here we are having arguments. Default constructor won't consider any arguments, but parameter constructor will consider arguments. So here there are arguments, int n and int m. So here there are two arguments. Okay. What we are checking here, if value of n is greater than m, then the data member big will be assigned with the value n. Else, if this condition is false, else then big will be assigned with the value of m. Okay, so this is a constructor. Parameter constructor is completely defined here. Followed by this, we'll be using a big as a display big member function, using which we'll be displaying which is the biggest number. Okay, so this is the class declaration. Completely we have declared the class, followed by main function definition. Within main function, for the class max, we need to create an object. Okay, so first we will be creating an object. What is the name of the object? N, max n. And we need to call this constructor. How we are invoking it? We are explicitly invoking. Okay, forcefully, or else we are explicitly calling it. So as soon as an object is created, it will be followed by assignment operator, so that is single equals. Again you will be calling the class constructor name. Constructor name is same as class name, as you can notice here, and within parenthesis there is a list of arguments. So if you come across such a statement, then it can be said as, it can be recognized as an explicit call. Explicitly we are calling. Okay, so here the value of 100 will be copied by the parameter or else argument n, and 200 will be copied by the argument m. Okay, so later it will perform its activity. Here the function will perform its work. Later on we will be calling the display big member function using the object. So n dot display big function, so using which we will be displaying the answer, which is the biggest number. So the output will look like this. Biggest number is 200. Okay, so we are not asking the user to enter any numbers. Directly the object will be created. For an object we are passing arguments using explicit call. Okay, we are calling the constructor. What type of constructor? Parameter constructor. Explicitly here we are calling. Okay, next, implicit call. So explicit call is nothing but we are forcefully calling the function. What is meant by implicitly? It happens by itself. We are not calling it. There is no disturbance from the user side. So implicitly it will happen. An implicit call means the declaration of the object is followed by argument list enclosed in parenthesis. Okay, so for a particular class, object will be created, followed by this within parenthesis. If you want to pass certain values, you can pass them. So if that statement, if you come across, then that is referred as implicit call. Okay, let us understand it via a program. Same program I have considered here, program to find largest of two numbers using parameterized constructor. So for the class max, I have considered data member big in private access specifier, and later I have considered a constructor. What type of constructor? Parameterized constructor. How can you say this? Because there are two arguments here for a constructor. Okay, so using this constructor, I will decide which is the biggest among two numbers, user passed numbers. Okay, that value will be stored or assigned to the data member big. Later, using the display big member function, I will be displaying which is the biggest of two numbers. So this is the story within the class max. Now I need to define main function. Void main. Within the main function, first of all, I need to create object for the class max. So max n, and followed by this within parenthesis, directly I am passing the value 100, 200. Nothing but as soon as object is created, the object's data members will be initialized with certain values. Okay, so here I am not explicitly, I am not forcefully I am calling it. It happens by itself, implicitly it will this particular constructor will be invoked. So as you can notice here, there is a lot of difference between explicit call and implicit call. So class name, object, and within parenthesis argument list will be there. So this is an implicit call. Followed by this, for the object, using object, I am calling the display big member function. Output will be biggest number is equal to 200. Okay, so I hope you have understood the difference between explicit call and implicit call. In explicit call, the user will be in his program, we will be explicitly calling a constructor. But in implicit call, we will not be taking the name of the constructor at all. Just we will be creating an object. After the object is created, we will be passing the values, arguments. That's all. Next, initialization of objects using during declaration with assignment operator. So you will here initialization of an object can also be done using assignment operator. Initialization can be done using explicit call or implicit call. Similarly, assignment operator can be done, but there is one condition. This third version is applicable, or it works only when you have to initialize only one argument. Okay, so if you want to initialize a data member, only one data member with a particular value, then it is okay, you can work with this particular method, or else it's not possible. Okay, so this method is used for the constructor with exactly one argument. If you have to initialize a data member with only one argument, then this is applicable. For the last program, it is not applicable because you are passing two arguments, 100 and 200, two arguments, and there you have used int n and int m. So there are two arguments. When there are two arguments, it's not possible. Two or three, more than one argument, it is not possible. If you want to initialize with only one argument value, then it is possible. In this method, declaration is followed by assignment operator and value will be initialized. So it is a very simple approach. Let us go through the program. Please notice here, I have considered a program where you will be displaying the value of a particular data member. So here the class name is num. Within the class we are having a data member A. In public access specifier, we are having a constructor. What type of constructor we are having? Again, there is an argument. So whenever there is an argument, it is a parameterized constructor. Okay, it's not default constructor, it is a parameterized constructor. So constructor name will be same as class name, and this is an argument. So using this argument m, we are trying to assign the value of argument m to the data member A. Okay, so that's why A is equal to m. So user will be passing some value, that value will be initialized to the data member A. Next, void display sum. So using this member function, we will be trying to display what is the value of the data member A. So cout value of A is equal to A. Next, within the main function, next we will be creating object for the class num. So class is num. For that class, we are creating the object obj1. Obj1 is equal to 100. Please notice here. So the constructor here it's only having one argument, and this argument need to be initialized. So if you want to pass only one value or initialize only one value by an argument, then that is possible with the third method, initialization using assignment operator. So here we have taken help of assignment operator. So object 1 is equal to 100. So the object data member will be initialized with the value 100. Later object 1 dot display some function. Okay, so we'll be displaying what is the value of the data member A. So value of A is equal to 100. So this is how the third method of invoking the constructor, that is parameter constructor, here it is operated.